Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Rhode Island to show you guys the first game that I played in the ship with a full secondary build using Willis, Lee, Haruna, and Hipper as our inspirations. Now, I didn't end up switching over to properly meticulous because I thought it would be better to have the heals. I still stand by that, but other than that, the ship is fully spec'd into secondaries, with secondaries in the first slot as well as the secondary module in the final slot, right? I think. It's either that or maybe I still kept the artillery plotting room, but basically a full secondary build. And again, this is the very first match that I played in the ship. So you're going to see me try out the HE, try out the AP, see what works, what doesn't. And you guys will see why I refuse until the developers get their heads out their own backside and actually make secondaries useful, especially at countering smaller ships, which is their whole purpose to begin with. Like, that's the thing that just drives me crazy. The developers even renamed them like 2 years ago from secondaries to anti-torpedo boat armament, which is what they were called throughout history. There's a reason for that. Their whole existence is to counter smaller, more agile threats so that the big guns can focus the big boys. Right? It's pretty straightforward. And when you consider the fact that these guns are at least the size, these are 5-inch guns on this thing, are at least the size of most of the destroyers' guns in the game and some cruisers, then it makes absolutely no sense why every goddamn gunner that controls them is a fucking moron. It's stupid. I have never in my life seen worse gunners in any game than the fucking secondary gunners on the fucking battleships. Like, it is fucking stupid. And it makes no sense. It's a stupid change that needs to be made. It should have been made 3 fucking years ago, but they've still not changed it. Secondaries are supposed to be more accurate now. We've got these fancy secondary boosters, which you'll see here in a second. But it doesn't matter how accurate your guns are if they're constantly shooting behind the target. I don't care if you've got the most accurate guns in the planet. If they're constantly trailing the target, you'll never get anything out of it. Now, obviously, we're going to get caught here by the Ohio. Again, they have a destroyer spotting. I don't. My destroyer's late to the party, as usual. We fire our first shot. We get 4 hits, no fires, of course. I think we got, what, a 35% chance to set fires. But again, you're going to see me shoot the HE here at the beginning, and you're going to see me try to get some fires and see what the HE can do. Because again, first time I'm playing the ship, so I want to test everything out. They're 14-inch guns. I'm not expecting these to be amazing. But right out the gate, we've got a meteor. He's well within our secondary range. We're going to go ahead. We use our fancy booster. And we're going to watch every shell just completely whiff. Now, there will be occasionally a hit. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, look, as he's coming towards us, suddenly he can get hit by them. But as soon as he changes course and goes lateral, every fucking shell misses behind. And then we fire our main guns and watch them miss as well. But again, this is not an accuracy build. I'm not expecting huge things out of the main guns. But again, look at how far trailing the ship these secondaries are. Oh, we hit a couple of shells right at the very end there. And that's with the best secondary booster active and almost full secondary build, and yet they still couldn't. As soon as he goes lateral, they can't hit him. If he's coming towards me or away from me, sure, they can stack hits on him. But as soon as he goes lateral, they can't hit nothing. And we know torpedoes are on their way. We're easily able to dodge those. Ohio comes around the corner, and this is the funniest thing that happens during this match. This Ohio player and I, we get into a secondary battle. Now, keep in mind, we have the exact same secondaries, right? And if he's spec'd into secondary build and I'm spec'd into secondary build, we're just going to sit here and have a good old-fashioned standoff. Like, who's more... It's just playing chicken at its finest, right? Who's willing to take the hits longer, right? I put my nose up against the island to try to protect me because I know that the 18-inch guns of the Ohio overmatch me. I'm using my belt to try to protect me as well, but also allowing my secondaries to get as many on target as possible. He, on the other hand, is fully over-angled, meaning we should be able to land some significant hits here. Again, we are not an accuracy build for the main gun, so the fact that I'm not landing a lot of hits with only 8 guns over the front is not that big of a deal. I'm used to that. And again, you'll see me start trying to like change where I aim and everything. I know the meteor is still hanging out. You can see them popping up on the thing. Here we go ahead and shoot a little higher, trying to get it more hits on target. And we do. We managed to get a pretty good chunk off of them. But as you can see, the Ohio's running away. We've only gotten 2 fires with our secondaries in this fight. And yet the Ohio is just like, I can't compete with this. My 18-inch guns are losing to this 14-inch gun battleship that has no armor. But Meteor comes around the corner. Of course, we have AP loaded because we were shooting at the Ohio. And this is, again, perfect example. Watch, every shell is going to trail. Every shell. As long as he's going laterally, they can't seem to land the hit. They're always aiming so far aft of the ship. It's stupid. But of course, as soon as he gets hit by my teammate, they're able to get me the close quarters expert, but unfortunately he's able to do what he wants. That guy should have never gotten the ability to get around the corner and launch his torpedoes. If you're rushing a full secondary build battleship at those kind of ranges, the secondary should chew you up and spit you out, because that's their purpose. What would happen if that same destroyer went up against an Atlanta at that range, right? That's essentially what's happening. I've got 10 5-inch guns looking at you. The Atlanta gets 16 at any given angle, right? There's technically, I think 17 or 4. I can't remember. I think it's 17 guns technically, but I could be wrong. One of them is a wing turret, so you can only ever get like all but one turret on at any given time. But this is what drives me crazy. This is why I refuse from this point forward, other than like the Schlieffen, because the Schlieffen has big guns, and for some reason they seem to actually be able to do things. But every other battleship that I try to build into secondaries on, they are the dumbest gunners I have ever seen in my life, and it makes no fucking sense. So this is my shot at showing you guys why I refuse to run secondary builds beyond tier 7. Right? I'll run the Massachusetts with a secondary build, doesn't bother me, because those secondaries seem to do pretty well. And beyond that, there is absolutely no business running full secondary builds on anything that isn't a German battlecruiser. All the rest of them should be spec'd into main guns, with the secondary guns being a added bonus, right? If you get to be able to use them, they're going to be better than, say, what a normal battleships would be. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I still think that it's silly that they force you into playing one type, right? Because you're so out of sorts if you try to play a specific build. Like, we want to go with a specific secondary build because we want to have a little bit of fun. We want to be more aggressive. And with all of the torpedo boats that are at legendary tier, and I know some of them have armor and all that, and that's fine. I'm not saying that my 5-inch gun should pin everything on a freaking destroyer at legendary tier, because there are some that have armor. I get that. But they should at least be able to hit the target. Plain and simple. If you're building fully into secondaries, they should be able to understand that the target is moving, and they should be able to lead the target instead of constantly shooting at the back of the ship, which is stupid. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know down in the comments below. This is a short video, kind of a rant, but this is why I don't do it. This is why I build into the main guns and then let the secondaries do their thing. And I think that we showed in the actual video for the ship, which again was the second game that I played in the ship, that you can do that, build into the main guns. The main guns perform fantastic, and then the secondaries are there as a bonus, right? They're setting fires on ships that you're not paying attention to. They're helping keep ships at bay and all of that. So let me know if you guys agree, disagree. Do you guys get frustrated as much as I do about secondary builds being as useless as they are in this game? And yeah, let me know. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.